Imagine waking up and realizing you just leaked your own master plan for the next 3 years. That is exactly what is happening right now with Apple. The Apple TV was supposed to be a forgotten project. It has been sitting under our televisions, collecting dust since the last minor update back in 2022. We all thought Apple simply gave up on the living room. But a massive new wave of supply chain reports just dropped this week. They paint a completely wild picture for a brand new device launching in spring 2026. This is not just a tiny, boring refresh. Apple is panicked. They are completely rewriting the rules for home entertainment. And the leaked specifications for this new box are actually insane. Let us talk about the brain of this new machine, because this is where the math gets really weird. The leak specifically says Apple is dropping the A17 Pro chip directly into this new Apple TV. Stop and think about that for a second. The current model uses the A15 Bionic. That is the older chip from the iPhone 13. It is perfectly fine for streaming 4K Netflix. But the A17 Pro is a completely different beast. This is the exact same 3nm silicon found in the iPhone 15 Pro. It has hardware accelerated ray tracing. It is incredibly fast. But it also runs extremely hot. When the iPhone 15 Pro launched, that chip was practically burning a hole in people's pockets during heavy benchmarks. Now, imagine putting that incredibly hot chip into a tiny, sealed plastic box under your television. Thermal management is going to be a huge question mark. The last Apple TV beautifully ditched the internal fan for total silence. But if they jam an A17 Pro in there without active cooling, that chip will thermal throttle within 10 minutes of heavy use. McDaily News reports a spring 2026 launch featuring an A17 Pro chip, an N1 wireless chip, and a potential built-in camera. Pocket Lint focuses on the A17 Pro's ability to run native ARA games and the inclusion of a custom N1 chipset for Wi-Fi 7. Zero Wireless specifies a March or April 2026 release with 8 GB of RAM and hardware-level ray tracing powered by the A17 Pro. What Hi-Fi confirms the transition to the iPhone 15 Pro Max's A17 Pro chip to enable Apple Intelligence and console-quality gaming. Apple Track highlights the device as part of a massive 20-product rollout for 2026, emphasizing Wi-Fi 7 and A17 Pro integration. Tech Insider Leaks reveals a 2-tier pricing strategy with a $99 model for March 2026, though they warn of thermal issues in the fanless design. MacRumors notes the device will act as a centralized smart home hub utilizing the N1 chip for high-stability networking. Philippe Espai Cito points to macOS 26.3 code leaks for a March 4 event, confirming the A17 Pro and the addition of AV1 decoding. Why would Apple use such an expensive, powerful chip for a simple streaming device? You can run Netflix on a literal potato. This massive power upgrade is not about watching movies. This is about Apple trying, for the absolute 10th time, to make a legitimate gaming console. They finally have the raw horsepower to do it. The A17 Pro can run huge AAA games natively, like Resident Evil and Death Stranding. But raw horsepower is not the only thing that matters in gaming. The real problem is the ecosystem. Unless Apple is secretly planning to buy massive game studios or pay for huge exclusive titles, a lightning fast chip just means you can scroll through the settings menu really smoothly. I remain highly skeptical that this box becomes a true PlayStation 5 killer. It feels like classic Apple overkill. However, there is a secret weapon hidden in these leaks. The most interesting supply chain nugget is the networking hardware. Reports state Apple is using a brand new, custom-built N1 chip. This is massive news for the tech world. For the last decade, Apple has desperately tried to divorce companies like Broadcom and Qualcomm. They hate paying licensing fees for networking parts. It seems they finally have their own in-house Wi-Fi 7 silicon ready to ship. The Apple TV is the absolute safest place to test this brand new chip. It plugs directly into a wall. If the power efficiency of the new chip is terrible, it does not matter at all. Wi-Fi 7 support is a massive headline feature. You probably do not have a Wi-Fi 7 router in your house yet. But the latency benefits are very real and very important. This is essential for flawless AirPlay. It is heavily required if you want to wirelessly mirror an Apple Vision Pro to your big screen. You need that massive bandwidth and zero interference. This upgrade is not about loading a YouTube video half a second faster. It is about creating a hyper-fast, invisible ecosystem right in your living room. They are also finally adding hardware support for AV1 decoding. Welcome to the year 2021, Apple. Google and Amazon have had AV1 support in their cheap, plastic streaming sticks for years. AV1 is essentially the holy grail of video compression. It gives you much better visual quality while using way less internet data. It is vital for watching pure 4K content on YouTube and Netflix. Right now, the older Apple TV has to decode this using software, which is incredibly inefficient. Adding hardware AV1 decoding is a great future-proofing move. But we should not give Apple a massive medal for finally adding something a $50 Chromecast has had for ages. Now, let us talk about the money. This is where Apple's entire strategy shift becomes obvious. The leak strongly suggests a brand new two-tier pricing approach. There will be a premium model with all the maximum storage and extra ports, but there will also be a base model strictly targeting the $100 price mark. This is the only way Apple survives in this specific market. Roku and Amazon Fire TV absolutely dominate sales because they make cheap, disposable dongles. Apple charging a massive premium for a streaming box always felt a bit arrogant. If they can actually hit that $99 mark with an A17 Pro inside, it is a total game changer. That price makes it a loss leader. This means Apple is actually losing money on the physical hardware just to get the box into your house. They want to trap you in their services funnel. They want to sell you Apple Arcade, Fitness Plus, and Apple TV Plus subscriptions. They are clearly seeing a drop in their service numbers. They desperately need to get more hardware into living rooms, especially for people who do not want to spend $1,000 on a new iPhone every single year. The software is also getting a massive, fundamental overhaul. The reports call this upcoming update tvOS 26.4. The entire reason the hardware is delayed until spring 2026 is because of software alignment. Apple Intelligence is the main hook here. Siri on the Apple TV has historically been absolute trash. The voice recognition constantly fails. Half the time, it just tells you it cannot perform a simple task on the TV. Apple is betting their entire future that large language models can finally fix this broken interface. Imagine holding the remote and saying, "Find that one specific sci-fi movie where the guy eats noodles in the pouring rain." And the TV instantly finds Blade Runner. That is the ultimate promise of Apple Intelligence. But we have heard big promises about Siri for over a decade. Until I actually see it pass a complex, messy human query without throwing an error screen, I am not holding my breath. There is also a lingering, slightly creepy rumor about a built-in camera. Apple wants to turn your main television into a giant FaceTime hub. They have dabbled with this recently using the continuity camera feature. You can prop your iPhone up near the TV to use as a webcam. It works okay, but it is super clunky. These new leaks suggest Apple might be exploring fully integrated camera capabilities built right into the box bezel. Honestly, I hate this idea. I do not want a camera lens staring at me from my TV stand all day. It feels highly invasive. Also, nobody looks good on a super wide angle lens from 10 feet away while slouching on a couch. But for Apple's grand smart home narrative, it makes perfect business sense. They want this single device to be the ultimate central brain. They want it handling your smart home accessories, your security camera feeds, and your family video calls. In my honest opinion, this product is shaping up to be an absolute monster value if the rumors hold true. If you are currently sitting on a 2021 or 2022 Apple TV 4K, do you need to panic? No, absolutely not. Your current box is totally fine. It streams gorgeous 4K video, supports Dolby Vision, and works smoothly. But if you are still rocking the ancient HD model, or that first generation 4K box with the terrible, easily broken remote, this 2026 refresh is the massive leap you have been waiting for. The A17 Pro chip alone ensures this device will get fast, reliable software updates until at least 2032. The Wi-Fi 7 chip completely future-proofs your home network. And the potential price drop to exactly $100 makes it a total no-brainer. I would recommend this instantly over a sluggish, cheap Fire Stick that is heavily laden with annoying banner ads. Just do not buy into the massive gaming console hype until we actually see the raw frame rates. And definitely do not buy it just for the AI features until we see Siri actually work in the real world. Buy it because it is the smoothest, cleanest, most premium streaming experience available. I am going to be watching the supply chain very closely for that custom N1 chip. If they have manufacturing issues, this massive launch might even get pushed to late 2026. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon.